Hey everyone, so I'm bored. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this yet, but there's this pandemic going on outside causing everyone to stay at home, so there's not much to do. Because of this, I had the amazing idea to code some concept items for Hypixel Skyblock. So, here we are. So I started off by creating a new 1.8 spigot plugin in IntelliJ and started setting up some basic methods for adding rarities and items. Now that I had these methods, I was ready to create my first item. For the first item, I decided to make an auto scaffold. This item, when held, would automatically place blocks underneath you, making it easy and quick to bridge anywhere. But to be honest, I don't know why you'd actually use this in Skyblock, I just thought it was a cool item to make. I started by giving it a name, lore, rarity and item key, and then I realized I actually needed a way to get the item, so I had to make a command for it. I tested it, and sure enough, I got a nice Skyblock themed item that looked just like this. Now it was time to make the item actually work, and all I actually had to do was place a block under the player every time they moved. And there we go, we have a scaffold item. I'll be leaving a link in the description to a download for all the items in this video, so check that out if you want to mess around with some of them. My next item was going to be the Jerry Flux Power Orb. I ran into a few problems while making it look good, but we got there in the end looking something like this. Now it's time to make it work. So first I had to make it placeable, then turn, and then go up and down. Go up and down. Now I needed to add some particles, but I was having some problems. Because of vectors that make no sense, and other things that no one cares about, it started running away from me, creating things like this that just completely lagged out my game, and then started exploding. Eventually I settled with this. Next I had to make an ability for the Jerry Flux, so after a bit of brainstorming I came up with the idea that the orb would shoot nearby mobs, turning them into friendly Jerrys. I tried a few different ways of doing this, like shooting them with arrows, but that didn't work, so in the end I decided to go back to working with vectors to shoot the mobs with a beam of hearts. With a bit of tweaking and extra improving, it ended up looking like this. Next up, I tried something I've never done before, custom projectiles. I wanted to create a ninja star item, which would be thrown just like the boomerang and flower of truth, so I started setting up the item and making it look nice. I then decided to have special item bonuses. For the moment I only had two, being lightning and explosive, each having their own ability. Next I had to make the ninja stars throwable. This took forever, as I'd never used armor stands in this way before, so I had to learn how to do it. I wanted to make the star spin, but as you can see I ran into a lot of problems. Finally, after way too many hours of coding, I settled with this. It does look a bit strange and doesn't go straight, and I could have fixed that, but I would have needed to do a bunch of math to work it out, and I had already spent way too long on this. After a bit of coding, I made it so the ninja star now does damage and the abilities work. I also wanted to add some particles, but after way too many bugs, and it looking very messy, I settled with just some sound effects and some breaking particles. Next up I decided to make an item beneficial to the farming community, called fertilizer. The way it would work is that as you farm you have the chance to gain something called nutrient power, which would begin to charge up the fertilizer. Eventually once you had enough, you could release this power to automatically grow all nearby crops instantly. I started making it look good, and then added the nutrient power ability. I wanted a way to notify the player when they got one without spamming them, so I decided to use the action bar. Next I got to making the crops grow, which was fairly easy. We're just going to ignore those ones. After a bit of particles and sound effects, it ended up looking like this. Well, that's all I got for now. If you have any item ideas that you want me to make, you can leave a comment. Just a reminder that the plugin will be in the description if anyone wants to download it as well, and please remember to like and sub. Thanks.